It's a little windy, but it's not as bad as last time. But this is a cool piece of woods. All this is on public land. And this, at one point in time, I don't know the dates or anything, but it was a farm. Like I said, I think the road is called Seymour, something like that. Now, people have been coming out here for a while now. The state does have, like up there, that actually, it's really cool. So it kind of comes down. So you go up there, and that's all. I mean, all this is woods, obviously. There is a road up there, a dirt road, like a seasonal road, but they have it blocked off. People have been able to go around it, and the state, thankfully, hasn't brought their boulders up like they always do. But I think what's cool about this piece is a lot of this, you still get some, I think that's shale, but kind of popping through the vegetation. Very, very active beaver dam. I don't know if you can see anything from that, but it's very active. Pretty cool. I already did walk up here. So, yeah, I kind of already have an idea of what I'm looking for. Now, here, you kind of see we got some water flowing, but maybe I can zoom in. You can really see this is maybe a door to something. I don't really know what else. Obviously, it's a foundation, so it's a basement. So that's pretty cool. Good amount of little branches, or not branches, but little trees and shit in the way there. But yeah, so obviously this is concrete. So I'll look back, or I'll look online when I get home, when I'm editing this, try to figure out some info on this place. But it's not all stone. I mean, the foundation is stone, but this is concrete, so I don't know. I know it's all I can tell you is at some point, whatever this was, the barn on the farm and the house, which I think is over there, was taken over by the state. So we got a foundation here, kind of goes in here, then we have that, and then kind of see, and then it squares off over there. It's a little thick through here. There's some bricks, so that's glass though. So it's hard to really tell, you know, what was here and then what was littered, but kind of in there, might have to zoom in, shit ton of bricks. So I don't know. This could have been the house, maybe that was the barn, but one of these was the barn, one of them was the house, because that's just how it worked. A lot of this land was originally bought by the people, 1800s, mid to late 1800s, even, well, early 1800s. But I mean, at some point, probably the Depression led to people leaving, because you can see really a lot of stone out here. Not the easiest landscape to farm in. Got some nice kind of squared off here, and then to whatever this would be used for. Maybe if it looks like it has, so that's brick right there. So they put mortar on it. Some sort of, I don't know. I didn't know. See if I could get over here without falling down. Some sort of pin. Large pin. Foundation looks like it's over there. That, or it was fencing. check that out. Is this? Maybe this could be that tree. Nope. Yep, that's tree. Got another 90 here. Or something. Fencing or whatever it might be. Very swampy over here. You can see the fence there. Stone wall, fence, stone fence, whatever you want to call it. And then you have that. But no, but you guys gotta think. This was not water back when the people lived here. I bet you this is just all, you know, where they had their cattle. Your cows is their pasture. So that would make sense, I would assume, if that was just a stone fence. They'd have their cows in the pasture here, and then by those kind of trees over there, that's where the I think the house is. We'll go check that out now and try not to fall in. But we got lots of stones, all shapes and sizes. Definitely owls. So that's cool. Definitely interesting. It's probably unlikely, but it would be cool if they had photos from back in the day. I think I can subscribe to this site that archived a bunch of aerial photos from when the military was doing that in the early 60s or 50s. So depending on when the state got the land, it could be talking 40, maybe 30 years. Like I said, I don't know. It was just pretty spontaneous finding this, and I remembered it from a while ago. I was like, oh, that'd be cool to check out. But I couldn't quite remember how I got here. But I remember the place, and then I was down this road, and I'm like, man, this seems familiar, and it was. Get that corner piece there, and it kind of goes straight. Sorry about the wind. Kind of a vulnerable spot for a nest. There's some trash in there. Go figure. So I got mud out everywhere. I'm betting you this was the house. Maybe not. But we got and this is all stone foundation. Not that big, so it kinda it's gonna go there and then come here. Right, so this isn't a big piece. Oh. And we got another massive foundation. This is stone. And then, I mean, look at this. I mean, this is impressive. Oh, okay, so we got some concrete on top. You can tell it's really old, but look at the, you know, I'm no concrete guy, but I do know a little bit that we don't make concrete mix it up with stones like that. So this was something, and then obviously, people being people, they decided to build that with all the stone. Which, I mean, this could have been part of the barn, too. They had a big milking operation. Oh yeah, nope, this was where they had their manure. So the manure would have went in here. If it's like a modern barn, it push it in. So maybe that was the house. Maybe they're both barns. I don't know, but you can kind of see here. I can kind of see it. I don't know if it's right. So you got right here. Let me get my screen up. So that would have came, and then here would have been. So they could have went up here. This would have been the bottom floor of the basement. And then they would have had. Sorry, this would have been the bottom floor. And they had the first floor, and probably a second. As to what that stuff was over there, could have been maybe the first part of it. I don't know. But this is definitely, I'm not sure what that was. This definitely kind of reminds me of some of the barns that are still standing today, how they're built. You know, you get the drive up here or whatever, and then all the cattle on the bottom. I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Could be completely wrong. Not a farmer, so it's just my assumptions. But yeah, really cool. Hope the video comes out good and the audio comes out good. But yeah, so when I get home, I'll do some digging around and maybe I'll pull up some photos got in here. Yeah. People being scumbags, go figure, right? A lot of just flat stones, so got some water trough metal or sheet metal. So yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, so that kind of wraps up this here. But like I said, I'm gonna go online and I'll look at some LiDAR image of this, which will be obviously current, and then I'll try to see if I can find some older aerial photos on that one website. Okie dokie. So at the house here, we're just gonna go through maybe 5 photos. 5 photos of what we were checking out today, and I was kind of like hinting at it to what we were gonna do. So we do have the stream that State Land's named after, but you know, as you can see just by the contours there, you know, 1440, another 1440. So, and this is rather low, right? So probably the water would have just flowed down this way to the stream itself. But with our beautiful beavers, you know, they just smoking it right around here. That's how that water beaver pond got there. And when I was going, because I came in this way, right? When I left, I went that way. A lot of beaver dams, and on private land too. But at any rate, looking here, you know, I came in here, had to go around this barrier, and then you kind of come down, right? And then you can go into here, and then this little clear out is actually a little trail, and I don't know where it goes, because I probably turned around here and went back. But yeah, so at any rate, this, you kind of see it's right where it says 1380. We got a structure, and then we got another structure here. And then I think right around here and then here were the other structures that we saw today.
looking back, going through the footage, I think it's safe to say this one here with the ramp was definitely the barn. You know, the first floor, it kind of had the little channels where the manure would go in, and that's what kind of makes me think that. Um, I mean, that's just from what I've seen and with my own experience with barns, and it it fits the shape, especially the ramp. You can't really. The ramp's a dead giveaway. Stone ramp out there where they made the little chimney. So I mean, that's pretty. I think that's a guarantee that that was the barn. But the main question is, what were these other what was that building? It's safe to say that was a house. Looking back at it, but I'm not sure what those two were. So with that said, this is what it currently looks like, and it's got a good growth. Everything's growing good. This part over here, which I don't have it zoomed in, but that actually got hit by a tornado. It came in like this way a while back. That's why it's kind of sparse right there. But as to these lines here, maybe when the state bought it, they planted them. We've only seen that a few times where the state actually spent the money to go plant trees. They don't do it too often. Um, yeah, but now let's go check out some other photos. So this is a photo in the 40s of the property. So it looks like an active farm. Granted, I don't know when this photo was taken. I don't know if it was during season. Like a lot of questions that I don't have answers for. I mean, kind of see, like, if you look here, like, obviously this is a different shade than this. Um, so I don't know what to tell you, but obviously those fields look pretty maintained, I guess you could say. So does this one? The this right here? You first look at it, you think it looks like a field, but I mean it was, but it's kind of loosey. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a straight. We got some. I mean, all these little tiny things in here. They're bushes. I'm gonna assume. If you were farming this, you're not like it. This isn't maintained well. So for whatever reason, this piece right here. I mean, shoot. I mean, even kind of over here, it's just weird. It's just usually you see these defined lines, but we're getting like some weirdness going on there. Don't really know. But if we get back to the buildings, we got a little bit of a shadow, so the sun looks like it's pointing this way. Um, so with that said, we got the barn. Then we got another thing building, and then we got this one. So we got three right there. And then whatever these two things are, they're not part of what I'm calling the house. So 5 structures. So we got 5 total. Safe to say the barn is a barn. I don't know what the other 2 buildings are that are right next to it, and I don't know what this one is. I just don't know. I, I just, not, I'm just unsure. And so now we got a little bit of a close up of the photo of the 40s. Um, I'm not sure. Oh crap! Like I'm not sure what that is, but you can really tell like this is not a manicured field. Like like this stuff right here is. I mean, look at the difference. You get all this, you got little. I'm assuming they're bushes. These are probably trees. I don't know what that would be, but yeah. So we got the barn here. Kind of looks like it would do My lines are not good, but I think if I... No, I can't. But so we got definitely got the barn there, and then this must have, maybe this was a part of it. Um, so maybe if we just think of it, we got one single structure. Got the ramp right here. And then we got, I can't really tell, like you can kind of tell like this, there's an angled roof like a house. So, but I don't know what this would be. Not sure. I'm not sure what this is, but it goes in line with, and then I got that building with that weird foundation with the bricks and the mortar on it. But this is definitely a farmhouse. I don't know if this is a tree. Maybe that is. But we got that. So we got a barn, house, and a couple other structures that I don't know. But it's cool. It's cool to be able to actually see this because of the fact that it's not that old. It really isn't. It's just, it's not as old as you would think it to be. So the first photos were from the 40s. And now this is from the 50s. So this, upon doing some research, and we kind of pull it up, this barn, I guess the whole property, was acquired by the state in 62. So 1962. So that's 30 years advanced from when a lot of the state land was purchased. And I know the state still does this. It's very rare. Just doesn't happen as much. But kind of the same story. We got a lot more grown in woods, and that's gonna lead me to think that, I mean, and you can tell here, I mean, I don't know if it shows, but yeah. So we got some changes over there. So I don't know. I'm just kind of leading to think that this farm became abandoned, a while before the state got it. Everybody was at least going downhill. I mean, you would think that this, I mean, I drove on it and it was very like, so, how the trail goes, it kind of goes like this. And that's how it goes now, right? Got some apple trees and stuff. But over here, can't really see, but it was very, there's just like, how do I describe it? Almost like indentations, right? Like mini ponds, but there was no water in them. But that's what it looked like from the trail. I'm not sure, but we definitely got a structure here because you can see. I mean, just with the shadow, right? So the sun's pushing that way. So we got. I mean, like this would be the tree. So this is all shadow. So, I mean, we got. It's so just bright. I can't even tell. I can't. But you could tell there was something there, and this is where those other two were. This one's gone. So in 55, most of these, I mean, only one building stands that I can tell. I don't even know if you'd consider these standing. So I don't know. I'm not sure what happened. And this is going to be 4 years post state ownership or acquiring it, however you want to say it. Farmland's actually untouched. So, like, I bet you that the farmer, this farmer down here, was probably still using these fields. That would be my guess. I don't know why there's that white line in there, but that's is what it is. This photo is not as bright, a little bit better contrast. You can definitely see our structures. But just take note, no water here. There's no pond. So this is where the house would have been, and this is the other thing that we don't know. And this is where the barn and the other building would have been. So, you know, not too long after the state bought the land, I'm assuming they flattened any of the buildings. It's just totally understandable. But, I don't know. I tried to dig into, who owned it. In the brief 40 minutes that I was just looking around, I didn't really find anything. So I can't really give you any information on that. With a lot of other farms, what's neat about it is some of them have a cemetery on the land. There is a cemetery close by with Seymour, I think I saw. But I did find a Charles Seymour, who this road is named after. I can't really correlate if there's any, if there's anything to it, but nevertheless, it's still cool. I really wish I could get you, or I could at least figure out the full story on, the was it bag taxes? I don't know. But at any rate, it's pretty cool. And I just wanted to kind of show this and give you some info if you found it cool, like it. We're going to get back to the video. I got one more thing to show you as a part of this adventure. I hope you liked this part. So sadly, the videos that I had lined up after our little history deep dive ended up being just terrible. They were filmed with my iPad or my iPhone, and I didn't have my stabilizer out. So they were just not good quality, not acceptable. So with that said, the video is going to end here. I hope you enjoyed checking it out, checking the current, and then trying to figure out the history of it. That's what a lot of videos for this channel are going to be like. I hope you liked it. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.